Okay, I think we're on the clock here. I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see it. My name is John Stritzinger, and I'm one of the team members for Computer Science 547. I worked on a number of things for our project, the first of which is a utility to install the tool. The very first thing that it does when you run it, it gives you a menu. You can look at the seeds that are in the database. You can dump current tables. You can create the tables and the databases, or you can load data inside them. So those are the options we have. Recently, I've added a connectivity check, which goes and sees if the database itself is running. So you can do that. And when you select the database, it asks you whether you want to look at MySQL or MS SQL. So yes, our tool does do both. So you'll see in a second here, it's running a PowerShell command, and it will come back and show the status of the connection. Taking a little longer than I expected. All right, so it came back and it is trying to reach the SQL Server. It succeeded on a ping, but it didn't get a TCP reply. So that is normal. So anyway, so that is one of the options of the system. The other thing that we have is you can look at the seed data. So if I hit 0 here, I can look at the movies that it would load. I can look at the genres. I can look at the ratings. I can look at show times, default show times. I can look at regions. I can look at stores and employees. And some of those are linked lists, and some of those are just collections of lists. But in any event, we created the seed data in C#, and then if you select install, then it actually does put all the data in the system. So that's the utility. I won't go through that. It is quite elaborate. It does check the databases are installed or not, and it does build all the tables successfully. So that took quite a bit of time. Now, in addition to that, I have been working on the UI for the class. So I'm going to bring that up here. And we have a registered URL that we did for the class. And I have been building a sort of a fusion between the class's original project that we presented in phase 1 and all of the tools that I have built recently. So our original model was to do just movies, and then just to make it look nice and to be competitive, we added a few things like music, and we added music reviews as well as movie reviews. So all of those are here. So the top bar was the original actions of the team. It loads this homepage. We have a login page that we demonstrated last time, a sign up and movie tickets. All of these worked and have been demonstrated previously. Since then, we've added Now Playing. And Now Playing shows a list of movies that are in the catalog, and they do actually run, so you can play all of them at once. So you could power like a wall at a department store. It's a pretty fancy tool. There are sub-menus for showtimes to buy and look at reviews, and so you can click through and get to different locations on the website. Now, the same things that are up here on the top, some of them are loaded here on the side. So we have navigation from the sidebar, we have navigation at the top, and we added a new bottom bar here that has really all the things that I have been working on. So at the bottom, there's a manager now, there's a regional manager and a store manager. The regional manager has more things. So you can go in and do, for example, employee maintenance. It shows you the list. You can insert new employees. You can edit and delete them as required by the rubric. In all of the tools sort of look the same way. You can manage regions, you can manage stores. So this wasn't in the rubric, but there are additional 1, 2, 3, there are about 15 more screens plus the ad details. So it was about 30 separate pages just in the manager section. So I built all of those. And they work on new tables that I added, like employee and employee reviews. And they also work with the original tables built by the team. So I have a manager that now is completely empowered. This is using ASP.NET technology. These individual screens are driven by grids. The grids have database objects, and the database objects talk to MySQL. So this is all ported to MySQL. So there's a manager. I have built a movie reviews page. This page is up and operational as well. You'll notice here that it does keep track of user information, user state, and that can be used for security denials to specific pages. That's some technology I developed prior to the class. So there's a social page. When you drive the social page, it's driving different videos and music from any internet source. If I go to music here, I'll give you an example of one. We do have some channels that have playlists, and so you can select anything here, and it looks awesome. So we've sort of integrated Google content into our site, and that's all up and working now. We have also integrated in WordPress, which is a common open source platform, and that gives us some other capabilities like running support forums, building individual pages, and we can even build complex interactions between our cart and third-party carts that have pre-built paying options. So just to save us some time. Along with that, I did build a diagnostic page. When the API is up and running, it will go back and pull stats. And I have a secure one, a over the network one, and a local one. So I built 3 pages for that. So that's pretty much been the most of my contribution. I did the manager, I did the installer, and I did the movie reviews section, which was a fairly big set of issues. So that's all I have for you today. The team will take you through the rest of it and what we're working on now. And I think we have a pretty complete, almost ready for market solution. This is something that we can take into a mobile environment within a week or two. So this web portal would be the basis for a mobile wrapper around it, which would allow us to go to market on Android and Apple devices within a few days of the team working on it. The challenges in this project mostly were around the entity framework for MySQL doesn't work really. The SQL Server version at .NET 9 and 9.1 code runs instantly, and you can model all the tables pretty much back to back, and it'll even build the controllers and get all the endpoints up for you within an hour or so. Whereas I've been working on the MySQL platform, and I've literally spent 3 weeks trying to get revisions that actually work. So there are 2 different potential models in this solution. One is code to database, which is what has been taught in the class. The other way to do it is to write SQL scripts and have the SQL scripts actually write the code. So Microsoft Entity Framework allows you to do both. So that's really, I've been sort of working back to front, and they've been working front to back. And we have more or less a working platform. But I think my contributions have been sufficient. We had some conflicts over technology that I think are well documented, but other than that, I think we do have a nice looking product. The class by itself is focused on just the production environment, which is just the top menu, and I'll show you what that looks like. So their version of the same tool just has the top menu bar, and that's pretty much it. They've added some fancier stuff with reviews that we'll demonstrate next week, but that's pretty much it. Just one other thing. If I go to reviews right now, you can see that I do have the capability as a manager to go in. And by the end of the day today, I will have the contact customer working. So if somebody gives something a terrible review, you'll be able to click on that button and it will fire up email to allow you to communicate to the customer or to get their profile so that they can be called. But that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for your time.